Tennis is back with my favorite tournament of the year, the Australian Open. And again, we had another amazing tournament. So like before, I'd like to give credit to the unseeded players who played their hearts out the past couple weeks. And there are quite a few of them again. Starting with Martin Fucsovics, first of all winning his first ever first round match at a Grand Slam tournament, and then defeating the 13th seed Sam Querrey in the second round, 6-4, 7-6, 4-6, 6-2. And he made it all the way to the fourth round, but lost to the second seed Roger Federer in straight sets. Next we have Andreas Seppi. He won a 5-setter against Ivo Karlovic in the third round, that contained 3 tiebreakers and a 9-7 fifth set, then running into the impressive Kyle Edmund in the fourth round. Then there was Tennys Sandgren. It was his first time ever making it through to the Grand Slam main draw. So in the second round he defeated 9th seed and former Australian Open champion Stan Wawrinka. He impressed in straight sets 6-2, 6-1, 6-4. And then he beat the 5th seed Dominic Thiem in the fourth round in a 5-set battle 6-2, 6-4, 7-6, 6-7, 6-3. But his incredible run was stopped by the uprising talent Hyun Chung in straight sets in the quarterfinal. But what amazing tennis displayed by Tennys Sandgren, living up to his name. Then we have Kyle Edmund, who defeated the 11th seed Kevin Anderson in the first round in a 5-setter 6-7, 6-3, 3-6, 6-3, 6-4. Then he beat last year's wildcard surprise Denis Istomin in the second round. Then in the third round he won another 5-setter against Nicolas Basilashvili, and he defeated Andreas Seppi in the fourth round, who was playing well in the tournament too. So it was his first time ever making the quarterfinal and beyond at a Grand Slam, and in the quarterfinal he continued that run against the third seed Grigor Dimitrov, 6-4, 3-6, 6-3, 6-4, but lost to the 6th seed Marin Cilic in straight sets in the semifinal. But what a spectacular run by the 23-year-old from Great Britain who shows so much potential. But his dream run was sort of overshadowed by another youngster by the name of Hyun Chung, the 21-year-old from South Korea, and he has become quite a favorite after his performance. First going through the 32 seed Mishka Zverev, 6-2, 4-1, where Mishka Zverev had to retire in the second set. And then it was Sasha Zverev in the third round. He defeated the 4th seed in a 5-set battle, 5-7, 7-6, 2-6, 6-3, 6-love. And then in the fourth round against his idol who he likes to shape his game around, the 14th seed and former world number 1 and Australian Open champion Novak Djokovic, in a grinded out straight set battle 7-6, 7-5, 7-6. So he became the first unseeded Korean to ever make it to a Grand Slam quarterfinal and beyond. So in the quarterfinal he defeated Tennys Sandgren, who also had a dream run, in straight sets of a tough battle. But unfortunately his fairy tale-like tournament came to an end in a painful way, where he had to retire in the second set of the semifinal against the number 2 seed Roger Federer due to injury. But hey, you can't really blame him, because he's never done so much running and sliding in a span of 2 weeks, so it's not surprising his feet gave in on him. But this kid definitely has the type of game to be a top 10 player in the future for sure. Now on to the women's side. We start with the 15-year-old qualifier Marta Kostyuk. First she went through the 25th seed Shuai Peng 6-2, 6-2, then won a tough match against the Australian Olivia Rogowska in the second round, and fell to fellow Ukrainian and the number 4 seed Elena Svitolina in the third round. But what a major tournament for her. She's never even made it past the second round in the Grand Slam Juniors level. And then there was Lauren Davis, who was making highlights. First of all, she had to win 2 3-setters in the first 2 rounds against Yana Chapalova and Andrea Pekovic, and then the highlight match against the world number 1 Simona Halep, where it was a 3-hour and 45-minute marathon, and Halep had to grind it out 4-6, 6-4, 15-13. Lauren Davis was so close to winning that one. She even reached match point at love 40, but the foot injury came at the worst possible time. But man, all that grit and effort, I'm a fan. Moving on, we have Petra Martic, who won tough matches in the first 2 rounds against Alison van Uytvanck and Irina Camelia Begu, and eventually lost to Elise Mertens in the 4th round in a complete battle. And then the qualifier Denisa Alertova. She dominated the first round against Pauline Parmentier, won a close match against Shuai Zhang in the second round, dominated Magda Linette in the third round, made her first major 4th round appearance, but stopped by the 4th seed Elena Svitolina, and the young 20-year-old from Japan Naomi Osaka. In the second round she defeated the 16th seed Elena Vesnina 7-6, 6-2, and in the third round she beat the Australian Ashley Barty 6-4, 6-2, but ran into the world number 1 Simona Halep in the 4th round. And that's the furthest she's ever reached at a major, so congrats to the youngster on a great tournament. And now the 32-year-old Su Wei-xie. She defeated the number 3 seed and former world number 1 Garbine Muguruza in a close second round match 7-6, 6-4, and in the third round against the 26th seed Aga Radwanska 6-2, 7-5, and made the 4th round at a slam for only the second time in her career, and lost a tough but entertaining match against the 21 seed Angie Kerber. Moving on, we have Carla Suarez Navarro, who defeated the number 32 seed Annette Kontaveit in a battle 4-6, 6-4, 8-6, then fought against the number 2 seed Caroline Wozniacki in the quarterfinal, but lost in 3 sets. And then the only unseeded player to reach the semifinal, 22-year-old Belgian Elise Mertens. she defeated the 23 seed Australian Dasha Gavrilova in the second round 7-5, 6-3, then won a couple grounded out thrillers against Elise Cornet in the third round and Petra Martic in the fourth round, and in the quarterfinal against the number 4 seed Alina Svitolina, beat her in convincing fashion 6-4, 6-love, and played a great match but fell to the number 2 seed Caroline Wozniacki in the semifinal. But what an amazing player she is, making her first quarterfinal and beyond. Definitely keep an eye out for her in future tournaments. So on to the Women's Championship Final, featuring the world number 1 Simona Halep and number 2 Caroline Wozniacki, and it was a huge story between the two players, both of them playing in their third career Grand Slam finals, and both of them seeking their first Grand Slam championship title, and on top of that the winner will also hold the world number 1 ranking. But as always, let's go through very quickly their roads to the finals. For Simona Halep, in the first round she defeated the 17-year-old Australian Destiny Aieva in her home court 7-6, 6-1. In the third round she survived a 3-hour and 45-minute marathon, the highlight match against Lauren Davis, 4-6, 6-4, 15-13. In the quarterfinal she breezed past the number 6 seed and former world number 1 Karolina Pliskova 6-3, 6-2, and she grinded out the semifinal match against the number 21 seed and former world number 1 and Australian Open champion Angie Kerber in another long 3-setter 6-3, 4-6, 9-7. And for Caroline Wozniacki, she was in quite a fight in the second round and came back against 21-year-old Croatian Jana Fett 3-6, 6-2, 7-5. And her wins against the seeded players, third round against the 30th seed Kiki Bertens 6-4, 6-3, and in the fourth round against the 19th seed Magdalena Rybarikova 6-3, 6-love. In the quarterfinals, she battled in 3 sets against Carla Suarez Navarro, 6-love, 6-7, 6-2, and a bit of a tough one against Elise Mertens in the semifinal, 6-3, 7-6. And the championship final was quite a classic against the top 2 players, and the first set was exactly what we were to expect, as it went all the way to a tiebreak, with Wozniacki playing it really well to take the lead. The second set was a bit strange, because midway through, Halep started to labor her left leg and needed a medical timeout. But that injury kind of threw Wozniacki off, I thought, because she ended up losing the set 6-3, and Halep was doing a great job not showing any signs of fatigue, and hustling to the balls really well. So Halep was right back in it with a bit of momentum going into the third set, but it didn't start too well for her as Wozniacki was able to break her right away. And then she started to get a couple breaks back, and Wozniacki was down 4-3. And midway through this set, it was her turn for a medical timeout, and then she was re-energized after that, because she came back and won 3 straight games, and won the third set 6-4. So there we have it, Caroline Wozniacki is the 2018 Australian Open champion, defeating Simona Halep 7-6, 3-6, 6-4. And so she has finally done it, winning her first Grand Slam title, and is now the world number 1 once again. And moving on to the men's championship final, it was between the number 2 seed Roger Federer and number 6 seed Marin Cilic. And the big story here was for Roger Federer to not only defend his Australian Open title, but he was searching for his milestone 20th Grand Slam title, and he hadn't even dropped a single set all tournament going into the final. So the seeded players he defeated were number 29 Richard Gasquet, 6-2, 7-5, 6-4 in the third round, and the quarterfinal against the 19th seed Tomas Berdych, 7-6, 6-3, 6-4. And then that semifinal match against a newfound talent Hyun Chung, and unfortunately for Chung, he had to retire because of his injury, and Roger advanced 6-1, 5-2. And for the path to the final for Marin Cilic, he won a couple straight setters in the early rounds, beat the 10th seed Pablo Carreño Busta, 6-7, 6-3, 7-6, 7-6 in the fourth round. In the quarterfinal, he was against the world number 1 Rafael Nadal, and it wasn't easy, of course, going the distance of 5 sets, but unfortunately, Nadal had to retire due to injury. So Cilic advanced 3-6, 6-3, 6-7, 6-2, 2-love. And in the semifinal, he beat the impressive Kyle Edmund in straight sets 6-2, 7-6, 6-2. So the finals match was a classic as well. Roger jumped out early and had an easy first set win 6-2, but Cilic was back and was engaged in the second set, taking it all the way to the tiebreak and won it 7-5. But that didn't shake Roger though, as he was able to grab the break in the third set and took it 6-3 to jump ahead once again. But Cilic wasn't letting up and fought back 6-3 in the fourth set to take it the distance. But he ran out of gas, and you could tell, since he played a lot more tennis in the entire tournament than Roger. So Roger took the set 6-1, and there it was, Roger Federer is the 2018 Australian Open champion, beating Marin Cilic 6-2, 7-6, 6-3, 3-6, 6-1, and captures his milestone 20th Grand Slam title, while defending his Australian Open title and his 6th all-time. And you could see a very emotional Roger Federer for his big 2-0, and he became the first man to win 20 major titles. What an absolute legend playing at the highest at age 36. So what a memorable tournament for the young talents who lived their dreams, in Elise Mertens, Kyle Edmund, and Hyun Chung, and an incredibly emotional 2018 Australian Open for our champions Caroline Wozniacki and Roger Federer. So thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the French Open.